Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. In this video I will be discussing with you guys latest Java developer interview questions. So I have already covered some videos on this topic. If you want, you can access all the videos. I have created separate playlist for that. You can just access the playlist and you can access all the videos. Okay, so in this video I will cover some other questions. So now any further delay, let's get started. So this is our first question. Calculate sum of numbers of an array list in recursive way. Suppose we are thinking about the iterative way. So as we know, in iterative way we can just simply take our for loop, and after that for loop we can iterate each elements of the array list and we can just sum up all the elements, and at the end we can just return the sum. That was very easy. Okay, but recursive way we can achieve the same thing, and that I know this is also very easy. Everyone can solve this question, but still I just wanted to cover each and every question. That's why I have added this question as well. And now I have used this method to solve this question. Okay, means this logic. I know there have other logics as well. You can add your logic, your process, your method in the comment section. I'm happy to see all of your comments. Okay, so now I will explain this code. So I cannot explain this code in my PPT, so I will go to my Eclipse so that you can easily understand, and that will be also helpful for me to explain the solution. Okay, so now let's go to our Eclipse IDE. So this is our Eclipse IDE. We have came to our Eclipse IDE. So first we are taking our scanner class. So it is as we know, like scanner class basically used to take the user input. Okay, so here we are taking the array list size as an user input, and this is our array list, and here this is our for loop we are using to adding the elements in our array list according to user input. Okay, so yeah, user input, here we are taking the user input and we are adding the same thing in our array list. Okay, so here we are calling our sum function. Okay, and this sum function is internally calling itself. It means that we have achieved recursion. Okay, so now here this is our array list, it's clear, and here our first integer value is I. So here I is our index position. Okay, so we are starting our calculation with the 0th index position. So array list index starts with 0 and it will end where? It will end array list size minus 1. Okay, so now here our S stands for sum. Okay, so here in this variable we will store the sum of the elements. Okay, so this is our recursion function starting. So basically this is our terminate condition. So in terminate condition what we are checking, like if you see a recursive call, we are incrementing our index position one by one. Okay, so basically in this if condition we are checking, like if our I means our index position is if equal with our array list size, then we will just return our sum value. Okay, it means that like we have covered all the elements of our array list. Now our I is add array list to size. If you try to fetch this I value, then you will get array index out of bounds of exception. Why so? Because as you know, our array list index starts with 0 and ends at array list size minus 1. Okay, so now if you try to fetch, like if you suppose if you are trying to fetch a l.get of I, then now it will give you exception. What exception? It will give you array index out of bounds of exception, it will give you. Okay, so you cannot do it. So when your I will be equal with your array list size, then you have to return your sum. Okay, here we are just calculating our sum. How we are doing it? Basically this get method basically using to fetch the particular index position element. Okay, so like first time our I value is 0, so basically this method will give you 0th index position element. Suppose our array list is 1 2 3. Okay, and now for the first time our I value is 0 and our S value is also 0. Okay, so now this if condition won't execute, because this is not the condition that will satisfy now. So now this S value will be changed. So how? Because this is our a.get, so 0th index position element is 1, so now S will be 1. Okay, I think it is clear. And now again our I will be incremented by 1. So now next sum function called I and S both have changed. Okay, the next iteration, now your I is 1 and your S is 1. Okay, now this if condition on execute, so now your S will be changed. Okay, now your S will be, previous S value was 1. Okay, 1 plus your current I, now your I is 1. So this method will give you one index position element. What is your one index position element? Is 2, right? So 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, so now your I will be incremented by 2. Okay, so in the next sum function call, your I is 2 and your sum is 3. Okay, so now condition won't execute because now your I is at 0 1 2. Okay, and your added list size is 3, but your I is at 2 index position. Okay, so this if block won't execute. Now this statement will execute. Now your previously your S value was 3, so 3 plus second index position element is 3. Okay, so 3 plus 3 is 6. Now your I will be incremented by 3. So again this sum function will call, and now your I value is what? Your I value has changed to 3, and now again your sum is 6. Okay, so now this if condition will satisfied. Why so? Because I is 3 and array list size is also 3. Okay, what is the size of this particular array list? 3. 1, 2, 3. Array list size is equal with the number of the elements we have in our array list. Okay, both are same now, right? This I value and this array list size both are same. Now this if condition will execute, we will just return our sum. Okay, so this value will be returned, and now we will just print our sum. Okay, so I think this code is little clear to you. Now you can just do one thing. You can just edit this way as well. Both are equal statements, right? What we can do now, we can just run it. Okay, now we can just define our array list size is 3. So now first 2 3. Okay, our sum is 6. Okay, so it means our code is properly working. So now again go to our PPT. I think this code is clear to you, right? This is our second question. What is functional interfaces available in Java? So if you can remember, in Java we have multiple types of interfaces like functional interface and normal interface. Means we can have any number of abstract methods, and also we have marker interface. In marker interface we cannot have any abstract method. So functional interface is something like we can have only one abstract method. Okay, so basically we have studied about functional interface in our Java 8 features, right? We have studied predicate, then function, consumer, supplier. We have studied about this method, right? Like predicate only returns true and false. Function is something doing some operation, like because it takes some input, it returns some output. Okay, consumer is something like we are doing, basically we use into printing something. We can use consumer. Supplier is something we are not providing anything, we are not giving any input, we are just expecting some output. Like suppose if you are working with a date time API, okay, and we just wanted to, each time we wanted to fetch the local date and time, in that case you can use supplier, because to fetch the local date and time there is no input required. You can implement that thing via the using of supplier. Okay, also we have by predicate. In by predicate is like we can take two inputs. Like in predicate, in the normal cases we can take only one input and it will give you only boolean type output, right? So we have by predicate, we have by function, by consumer. Like by means we will have two inputs. Okay, unary operator, binary operator. This is some kind of example of functional interfaces. Okay, so now moving on to our next question. I think it is pretty straightforward. So this is our third question, like how to write custom queries in Spring Boot. Okay, we have two ways using JPQL, and another way we have using native query. In JPQL we have two types, like with the index parameter and with the named parameter. Index parameter, like we are writing 1 2, we are doing the indexing. Okay, and named parameter also we have, like we are writing the names. Okay, native queries simply SQL queries you are writing. Okay, like select star from employee where name is equals to this and skill is equals to this. Okay, so these are the something. And also like here your employee table name should be same with the your database table name, and also like your name and this skill should be same with your column name. Okay, so basically you are simply writing your SQL queries. Okay, that should be properly mapped. Okay, then underscore AME, if you have in your database this way, then you have to mention the same, you have to follow the same thing. Okay, you cannot like, okay, in the attribute, in the like in employee entity we have used a name and skill attribute, we can use the same. It's not like that. It will always follow the database column name. Okay, these are the something that you should know. Okay, so same way in native query also you have index parameters, you have named parameter. Okay, so what I will do now, I will explain this whole thing in my STS so that you can easily understand, right? So I know it will be pretty confusing if you are just seeing these things here, so that's why I have implemented one dummy project so that you can easily understand like how it is basically working. Okay, now let's go to our STS. See, this is our employee entity. Okay, so in our database also we have this thing. If you can see, this is our employee table. Okay, and like this is our column name and skill, so both are same with our attribute name. Okay, so there won't be much problem. Okay, so this is our entity class, and these are the three attributes we have: ID, name and skill. Okay, and ID is like auto increment. We have changed, means we no need to provide the ID, it will be incremented by itself. Okay, we no need to think about it. Okay, so basically this is our service. Okay, and this is our repository. So this is the repository because if you can remember, in by default we have like find by ID or like find all. These methods also is already available in our like JPA repository. Okay, but if you want to achieve some extra thing, like if you want to filter some employees based on their skill and name, that thing is not available in your JPA repository. If you want to achieve that kind of things as well, then you have to go with the custom queries. Okay, so I will explain the same thing here. Okay, so this is our first one. Okay, let me just comment this out as well. Okay, one by one we will see each. So we are like doing the custom queries using JPQL. Okay, and these are with the named parameter. Okay, means we will use colon and names, not like 1 2 3 4 you won't use. Okay, so like select E from employee E. Okay, here he stands for employee. Okay, where E dot name, so remember this E dot name, this name and this skill, this name should be same with your attribute name. Okay, this name and skill, right? And then here you are doing like S and name, means here you can take any value, but now the point is now how they will understand like this N is like mapping with this name, because you are not taking the same name and name, like because you are taking a N and here you are taking S. So for that you have to use this param annotation as well. Okay, right? I think it is clear, because here we are doing the mapping, like here it is N is denoting this name and this S is denoting this skill. Okay, that is the thing that you should understand. Okay, so now the point is that you can ignore to use this param as well, but means if we write the same name here, like if you use E dot name equals to colon name, then you no need to use this param annotation. Okay, we will see that as well, but for the time being we will just run this code once. Okay, okay, so now this is our post. We have already created one employee object like with my name Sritama and the skill is Java. So now here we are basically hitting our custom query API. Okay, so here we are providing name, and here we are providing our Java skill. Okay, so if you just hit it, now if you can see, this is providing you expected output. Okay, so Now the point is that you can implement the same thing. If you don't want to use this param thing, then you can do as well. Like if you just want to ignore this thing, then what you have to do now, then in that case you have to use a name, and here you have to use skill. Okay, just save and you have to stop and restart it, because I didn't like in the POM file I did not add the tape tool dependency, so you have to run this code each and every time whenever you are doing the changes. Okay, so now just okay, now it is started. We can hit our API again. Okay, now you can see it is totally working. So what was my point? Like you can use @param and param if you are not using the same name. Okay, so basically if you are not using the same name, then you have to use this param annotation for the mapping. Okay, you can ignore this param attribute if you are providing the same name. Okay, so because this name and this name should be same. Okay, right, and this it or skill and this it or name should be same with the attribute name. Okay, so same way we can do the this same way we have this via the index parameter. Okay, so this is our JPQL thing, like select E from employee, where E dot name, here we are using the index. Okay, question, then E dot skill question mark 2. Okay, there is no confusion, like there is no need to do any mapping and all. So you can simply use this and you can just use this index parameter. Okay, but remember you have to use query annotation. Every time you have to use query annotation. Okay, so I'm just running this code again. Okay, so I think I should use tape tool. Every day I have to restart and starting again. So okay, for the time being I think you can manage. Okay, so yeah, it is working. Okay, so there is many other ways as well, but JPQL is little like standard. Okay, so we can just comment this out as now. So this is our native query. So 2-3 points that you have to remember if you are implementing custom query via the native query. So first you have to use this attribute, the native query equals to true. Okay, so many people do mistakes here. Actually they need to specify this attribute, and they then that case this API won't work properly. Okay, so now here like we are just writing simply SQL query, select star from employee where name, and here this name and skill should be equal with your database column name. Okay, otherwise it won't work. Okay, we have already experimented, that's why I am like forcing it, like yeah, you have to make sure that that two column names are same with your mention names and all. Okay, your mention name and your mention skill. Okay, so yeah, I think it is also clear. Like, and you have to also specify your native query is equals to true, means you have to first you have to remember you are writing simply native SQL query. Okay, then whatever you are doing, like select star from employee, we do this kind of thing. Okay, even this employee table name are also same with the database table name. Okay, so you are just writing your normal SQL query. Okay, and then the attribute name and skill. Okay, so same way we have native query as well, so it will definitely work. I have already tested. Okay, so this is our using the named parameter. Okay, so yeah, we have select star employee where name N and S. So because we are not taking the same values, so we have to do the mapping. Okay, like here I have comment this out, but you can see this as well. So like here we are using same name and skill value. We are not using, like for name we are not using N, or like for skill we are not using S. So that's why we no need to do any mapping via the param annotation. Okay, so this way we can ignore the using of param annotation. But yeah, we have both the option. If you whatever you want, it you can use according to your preference or according to your needs. Okay, so yeah, we are just saving this file and we are just stopping this server, because otherwise the changes won't get saved, so means on changes won't reflect in our output. So that's why. Okay, so I'm just running. Yeah, it is working, right? So I think this thing is also clear to you. Four things that you should remember, like first one, we have to use @query annotation to write down the custom queries. Okay, and also we have two ways. First one is a simple JPEG keyword, and the second way we have native query. Okay, in native query case you have to explicitly mention like native query is equals to true, and native query case we are like writing down the simple SQL queries. Okay, these are the 3-4 things. And also sometimes we have to use param annotation if we doing the if you want to do the mapping and all, we have to use this param annotation as well. Okay, so now I just wanted to show you one interesting thing, like I'm just commenting out this thing. And okay, so I am not writing any query. Okay, if you can see, I have commented each and every line, and I am just writing this one method name. Okay, find by name and skill. So if I am saving it, I'm just want to stop it. Okay, otherwise this change on like reflect in our output. So now I'm just running it. You can see one thing actually, and it is very interesting. Okay, I'm just sending it. Okay, now you can getting the same output. Actually it can easily understand, like you are just wanted to filter our employees based on the name and skill. Okay, this ST is that much smart. Okay, but yeah, obviously if you want to do some complex queries, you have to write this custom queries. Okay, but for small filtering and all, you can go with this method naming. Okay, if you write down the method name properly, it can automatically filter out the attributes, or like it can easily filter out the entities based on your requirement. Okay, we are just writing the find by name and skill, and in the output also we are just writing the name filter by name and skill. Okay, so yeah. And one thing I just wanted to show you, the API, the controller. Okay, so this is our post mapping, because this post mapping method we have used to store like for at least one object we have to store in the like database, right? Otherwise how I can do this get mapping. Okay, so this is the mapping. Okay, so we have to use path variable. I know you know each and everything, but yeah, this is the mapping. Okay, I just wanted to show you, this is the API like we are hitting. Okay, so now moving on to our next question. So this is our fourth question, like exception handling in Java. So it is very easy. We know that we have try, catch, finally, throw and throws. Basically throw basically used to express this throw and exception, because it is for custom exceptions. Okay, throws also we have like to declare the exception at the method level. Okay, that method might throw. Method level we are basically want to throw any exception. Okay, so try catch block also we have defines a block that code might throw an exception. Okay, then catch block also we have defines a block of code to handle the specific exception. Block of your code, it may throw some exceptions. To handle that kind of exception, you can use try catch. Okay, and finally block is something like defines a block of the code that will execute whatever or not an exception occur. Basically in the finally block we basically use to close the resources. Like in the last code in the Eclipse, I have shown you one code like scanner class we have used, right? But you know what is the good practice? You always have to close the scanner class, because it's a kind of resource. Okay, whatever you are opening, you always must try to close whatever resources you have opened. Like suppose you are opening one file, you can may possible, is it not intentionally somehow what happened in the middle of the code, you code some exceptions. For that reason your file, all the resources has opened, so you not able to close that resources. So what you can do in the finally block, whatever is happening, finally block will always execute. So in a finally block you can write down that code like, okay, this is the resources we have opened, so we just wanted to close each and every resource in our finally block. Basically finally block will always execute, right? So you can your resource closing codes in your finally block. Okay, so okay, I'm just explaining this keyword and some combinations as well. Like you cannot use only try without the catch block, you cannot use only catch without the try block, and also if you want you can use try with the finally without the catch block. But in that case what will happen, in that case you are not handling the exception. That is one point. Okay, there's some more combinations, but that is also one if you can remember. But at least if you can explain this each and every keywords properly, that will be more than enough. Okay, so I think this is also clear. So let me just read out this paragraph as well. Like exception handling in Java allowed developer to manage timeout errors effectively by using mechanisms like try, catch block, finally block, throwing exception, custom exception handling, etc. Okay, so I have adjusted the Geek for Geeks links as well. If you want, or like if you want to know more about this topic, you can go to this website. Okay, so moving on to our next question. Okay, before that let's see this picture as well. Okay, so this is like here one exception object will be created. Okay, let me know what will be the exception here. Actually here the exception will be arithmetic exception, because you are trying to divide one integer type number with a 0. It will obviously give you arithmetic exception. Okay, so basically if it is here exception is happening, then here one exception object will be created. Okay, VM will check like the VM. Okay, VM will check it is handled by the developer or not. If it is not handled, okay, if it is not handled, then print out the exception description, what type of exception occurred, print stack trace, terminates the running program. Okay, this will happen. But if you are handling, then that is well and good, rest of the program will be executed. Means if it is not handled properly, the VM will terminate the code. Okay, but if you are handling the code, the VM will execute the rest of the code. Okay, I think it is clear. So moving on to our next question, and this is the last question for our video. I know it is very easy question, like oops concept in Java, so I won't take much for this question. Like as we know, we have total 4 pillars in Java: abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. So abstraction and encapsulation is for security purpose. We basically use inheritance, and polymorphism used for code reusability. Okay, so basically abstraction is something like, basically with data abstraction is a property by virtue of which only the essential details are displayed to the user. We have abstract class and also we have interfaces. Okay, for this we have two things to achieve this abstraction. What is encapsulation? It is defined as the wrapping up of data under a single unit. It is a mechanism that binds together the code and the data in manipulates. Okay, so basically encapsulation is something like in a class we have some attributes, we have some methods. Like suppose we are defining your attribute is a private, okay, for security reasons. So how someone can access a particular variable? For that we will use what? Data setters. Data setter will use to access the particular methods. Okay, we can do like we can do the setter methods only private, only data method we can make only public. Okay, so there are many other ways as well to achieve the encapsulation. Okay, so encapsulation abstraction is only for security reasons. Now inheritance. So inheritance is a very simple thing, like important pillar of OOP, object oriented programming. It is a mechanism in Java by which one class is allowed to inherit a feature, fields, a method of another class. We have achieving inheritance by using extends keyword. Okay, extends keyword inheritance also known as is a relationship. Okay, so second one polymorphism, but before that I just wanted to briefly explain this inheritance as well. Basically we have the 5 types of inheritance, but in Java we are only supporting 3 types of inheritance, right? So what are the 3 types of inheritance we are supporting in Java? One is single, second one is multi-level, and the third one is hierarchical. Okay, so this is the one thing. Single is like P is extending A, so A will be parent, P will be child, and the second one we have multi-level. In the multi-level we have like A class is extended by B and P class is extended by C. So now C is like indirectly extending A as well. Okay, this is like a multi-level. Okay, so I can explain like A. Okay, A class is extended by B. Okay, A class is extended by B, and C class also we have. C class is extending B. Okay, and B is extending A. So now indirectly C is also extending A. So now this is something like multi-level. Also we have hierarchical. Okay, so we have one parent class. Now this parent class is extended by multiple child classes. Okay, like B. Okay, now I am writing C. Okay, B and C, right? Main possible, and other two types of inheritance also we have like multiple and hybrid. Although we are saying like Java does not support, but we can achieve that two types of inheritance as well via the interfaces. Okay, so yeah, that's all pretty much about inheritance. Also we have polymorphism. We have method of loading and method of writing. Like it refers to the ability of object oriented programming languages to differentiate between the entities with the same name and efficiency. This is done by Java with the help of signature and the declaration of these entities. The ability to appear in many forms is called polymorphism. Like polymorphism, like many forms. Okay, so polymorphism is like in Java mainly two types. So we have method of loading and method of writing. Okay, method of loading is a compile time polymorphism. Method of writing is the runtime polymorphism. Okay, it's like we are working in a same class, but the method signatures are different. Like the sequence of the arguments, the number of the arguments, or like what we can say types of the arguments are not same for the methods, but method names are same. Okay, the names are same, but the sequence of the argument, names of the argument, types of the arguments are not same. Okay, and one point is that we are not considering the return type. And method overriding, like one class is extending another class. Okay, and we are overriding our parent class method, and we are implementing our own implementation. We are writing our own implementation in our child class methods. Okay, this is something like method overriding. So basically in method overriding there will always be a inheritance concept. Okay, and the method signature will be totally same. Okay, the types of the argument, the sequence of the argument, or like what we can number of the arguments, all will be same. Okay, but in the child class we will add our own implementation. Okay, so this is something like method overriding. I think these are totally clear to you. So if you want to know more about this topic, you can see the Geek4Geeks website for OOPS concept. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope this video was helpful for you, and if you have any thoughts, any question, you can let me know in the comment section. And if you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.